Let's give a huge round of applause and honk your horns for Melissa Burns in the Edge 540.
Would you rescue me? Would you get my back? Would you take my call when I start to crack? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me? Would you rescue me when I'm by myself?
Folks, continuing on with our airshow program, we're happy to welcome the United States Coast Guard with 2 helicopters. In the lead is the MH-65 Dolphin, and information slightly behind is the MH-60 Jayhawk. Again, our lead helicopter, the MH-65 Dolphin, developed and built by Eurocopter. It's a twin-engine search and rescue helicopter in service with the United States Coast Guard, primarily used as a short-range recovery aircraft. It is basically a U.S. version of the French-built Eurocopter, known as the Dolphin. The United States Coast Guard operates 102 Dolphins from the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, the Gulf of Mexico, Hawaii, as well as the Great Lakes regions. Now that helicopter in the lead, it can perform a range of missions, including search and rescue, smuggling prevention, homeland security, military preparation, ice breaking, marine environmental protection, as well as pollution control missions. Normally deployed from shore, the helicopters can also be operated from medium and high endurance U.S. Coast Guard cutters, as well as polar icebreakers. Display units, as well as 2 multi-function displays. Now folks, I want to invite you to use your imaginations for just a few moments here. I want you to imagine that we have a stormy night. We have high winds, we have pelting rain, we have low visibility, and we're out on the ocean waters with high waves. This is often the conditions that the United States Coast Guard finds themselves in when they assist a boat in distress. And what we're going to demonstrate here for you today, just a little bit about what they do during a search and rescue mission. The helicopter on our left is the MH-65 Dolphin. The helicopter on our right is the MH-60 Jayhawk. That Jayhawk is also a multi-mission twin-engine medium-range helicopter. Also used for search and rescue, law enforcement, military readiness, as well as marine environmental protection missions. The MH-60 is designed to fly a crew of 4 up to 300 miles, hoist up to 6 additional people on board, while remaining on scene for up to 45 minutes, and return to base while maintaining an adequate fuel reserve. And in just a couple of minutes, you are going to see our crew from inside both helicopters attach themselves to a hoist and be lowered down to the ground. Again, we have really calm conditions here. Just imagine this operation happening on an incredibly stormy night. Our search and rescue experts would be hoisted down to the boat in distress. That medical expert would provide initial first aid. They would stabilize the area and prepare the folks on board the boat in distress for hoisting back into the helicopter. And there you see both of our crew members being hoisted back up into the helicopters. They're giving us a little bit of a wave there, so wave back. Meanwhile, the job of our pilot and co-pilot is to make sure that they maintain absolute same altitude during the entire time of the operation. we have our crew members back on board the helicopters. You'll see that these helicopters would move away from the scene of the incident. And they would transport the folks that were in the situation to the nearest medical facility. Normal cruising speed of the Jayhawk, thus again the helicopter to our right, is about 135 to 140 knots, and the aircraft is capable of reaching up to 180 knots for short durations. The United States Coast Guard has approximately 42 of the Jayhawks in its inventory. The Dolphin, that's the helicopter off to our left, is powered by digitally controlled turbomecha engines, providing 40% more power than the initial engines used in earlier versions of the helicopter. Well, in our imaginary scenario, we have discovered that all of the people on board the boats in distress are going to be A-OK. Another successful mission for the United States Coast Guard. We want to thank them for bringing these two helicopters. I go to a lot of air shows in Canada, and I got to say, I don't think I have ever seen two Coast Guard helicopters in the same demonstration doing things like that. I think that's super cool.